Hello, everybody. Good day. You're welcome back again to the channel. Um, as promised, I talked about coming up with testimonies from self students who are currently self-funding their master's degree abroad, and those that have graduated as a self-funding student abroad. So for today, I'll be discussing uh, self-funding of master's degree in the UK. I know many things have changed over the years. There are so many policies, new rules. So things have changed. So I have testimony from a master's degree graduate from the UK. So I'll be sharing his words. So this particular video will serve as a guide as well as warning, especially for people who are desperate, who are not looking into gathering important information before traveling abroad for their master's degree. This is risky, I'll say. 100% risky. There are so many scholarship scam, COS scam, working slot scam in the UK, and people really need to be very careful. So for people who have genuine funding, they have sponsors that are not scholarship bodies. These are people that I'm making this video for. So they have sponsors ready. They have this trustworthy source of income to pay for their tuition, their expenses in the UK. So this particular video will really help them. We guide them on how to apply and come to the UK for their master's degree. And if you have anyone who is planning to come to the UK for their master's degree, or someone who is so desperate to come to the UK by all means, who you think are not gathering the right information, please make sure you share them this video. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So let me go into the slide now to share Kolade's thoughts and advice. So this particular session is a continuity of my after BSc, what next? And I have I'll be discussing 3 routes. The first one is the MSc, which can come in form of this self-sponsoring or a scholar or going by scholarship. And the second one will be going into entrepreneurship. The third one is going into scouting for job opportunity. So for this self-funding, for scholarship, I've discussed so many opportunities for the 2024 applications. And soon I'll be starting a preparation series for people who are interested in applying for scholarship later in 2025. So for the self-funding series, this is for the UK. So for him, as a fresh university graduate, what came to his mind was completion of after the completion of the BSc, what he planned was MSc, which is one of the routes, which is very good. So as a student who self-funded his jackpot journey, he said it was one of the best decisions. So, and he said self-funding requires you to plan based on available budgets. So that's why I said you need to plan well. So you need to consider factors such as the tuition fee, the job availability, your destination city, because these also vary. Availability of fellow Black community to help, which is important. So also, if scholarship are available for self-funding students in your university, so in his case, he got a scholarship, a partial scholarship, which is called a VC scholarship at Bangor University, which amounts to up to £10,000. This is not small money. So he was lucky to get a partial scholarship at Bangor University. So if you are interested in coming to the UK, attending Bangor University, you can also check for the VC scholarship if you can apply for it. This is good information. So he said studying as a student and working is never easy. You should note that. And also, there is the probability that you get a job as a student in the UK is a 50-50 chance. It is also dependent on the city where you are studying. So it varies. You may or may not get a job. So have that in mind. So it is advisable to come in with a student as a student. For UK, the only option available now, I think it meant to say it's advisable to come in with a dependent, someone who can work while you study, even though you don't get opportunity to work while studying. So for the UK, the only option available now is a master's research. So to come in with a dependent now, with a new law, you have to be here for a master's research, which allows Jackpot enthusiasts to bring in their spouse to help make their life much more easier in terms of financial and emotional support. So this is very true. So 2-3 years ago, a lot of people came in with their partners as master's degree. They came in for their master's degree and they came in with partners. But currently, you have to be here for either a PhD or a master's research to be able to come in with your partner. So you have to consider this, and you need to put at the back of your mind that you may or may not get a job while working. Also, transportation is relatively convenient across the country, and you should also know that it is paid. You need to pay for every journey you embark on. So, and grocery stores are essential materials are everywhere. Yeah. So in terms of job availability, it is city based. I said that too because I studied in the UK as well, but under scholarship, so I do not really have too much information as regards self-funding. And it can be very tricky. So self-funding students need to make informed decision based on their choice of city to study. So this should go into your plan when planning to. You don't just wake up one day and say, I want to go to the UK for my master's degree now. You need to make informed decisions. You need to plan ahead. You need to ask questions and make sure you are asking a trustworthy person those questions, because some agents are so I don't know what to qualify them with. They are just selfish. They don't care about you. So ask the right people questions. Also, accommodation is also an important aspect of JACPA, which self-funding students don't really take into consideration. So it needs to be factored in as well. City where there are cheaper housing should be considered. So housing in London is the cost of accommodation in London is different from the cost of accommodation in Bangor. So he's saying when you are selecting the university where you want to study, you should consider the accommodation. And note that in my country, for instance, Nigeria, house rent is usually paid annually. But in Europe, in America, in the UK, house rents are paid monthly. So you should put this in mind when planning your master's degree or JAPA abroad using the master's degree route. So also it provided us information about what you really need. So these are what you need. You need to submit application, and when you are coming for master's degree abroad, you should be ready to use the internet for your own good. Go on the UK government website, go on the university website, read what is on there and understand. Don't rely too much on people, on agents. So you can ask questions, but be ready to do the job. So you need to get admission. So before you get an admission, you need to submit applications. So also you need a proof of fund. So and the suggestion here is that there are banks and financial agencies who provide this. I'm not, because I was a scholarship awardee under which I studied in the UK. I don't have the information about this. So you need to get your CAS. So I got this too. Depending on different institutions, it is another form of proof that you have fund in your bank account, and the CAS number from university is needed for visa interview. Yeah, I remember getting this from Bangor, but because everything was under scholarship, I just got the document. But for self-funding students, you will get it as well, and it will state how much you've paid. I think so, because the last page of my CAS only stated as that my tuition fee was sorted, was already paid. So for you, it will show you have fund in your bank account and all this, and you definitely need it for your visa interview. Yeah, I remember going with it. I remember uploading it when I was applying for visa. So you need to open a UKVI account for visa and traveling. So these are the things people trust agents for, but you can do it yourself. I did myself. You may not be able to do it at once, like in one sitting. Like you may need to go back, put more information till you finish the application. But trust me, you can do it yourself. I did it myself. Also, you need a tuberculosis test. There are there are hospitals. I'll say there are laboratories in countries already assigned for these tuberculosis tests, so you cannot just do it anywhere. So for people who have been in Europe and some countries for up to 6 months, you don't need this particular test. So because I was already in the EU, one of the EU countries for a year, I didn't do any tuberculosis test. So also getting the visa, you need to be present at the TLS office for interview and biometrics. Then you travel, book your flight and travel. So this is a well highlighted steps to follow when you are planning to come to the UK for your master's degree, and also especially when you have a sponsor, you have a genuine sponsor. So put these are list of things you need. I don't think you need anything else apart from the factors you already discussed: accommodation, choosing your universities rightly, and all. And okay. And also, if you are confused, you can put, you have questions, you can put in the comment section. I'll be willing to answer your question. And if I'm unable to answer a question, I will definitely get information from people who are who have gone through this path or currently studying as a self-funding student in the UK. So this is the UK. I'll be coming up with options, different countries. So I've received information from friends, colleagues, and who are studying in different countries, who are self-funding their study. And trust me, self-funding is different from getting a scholarship award. Self-funding is on your funds. So not that. And when you come abroad, you don't make friends like easily. You don't make friends easily like you do in your country. So plan well. This video is particularly here for you to plan well, please. Because I'll say on your own, you are on your own abroad. So please plan well when you are planning to come abroad for your master's degree. And also, there are lots of scam now. Lots of scam. You should please avoid scholarship scam. If you are applying for scholarship, we are planning to apply for scholarship, most times it is free. Most times there is no application fee. Most times there are things you can do yourself, except you need your document reviewed by people who you pay. Like for me, yeah, I review documents now and it's a paid service. So I wish you the best as you plan your master's degree, if that's your own plan and not entrepreneurship or getting a job. So I wish you all the best as you plan your postgraduate education. So see you next time in another video when I come with another information from other self-funding students from different countries before we go into the scholarship preparation series properly. As scholarship will begin to open later in the year. All right, guys. Take care and have a nice day. Bye.